Welcome to the show, folks. Hey, if you don't know me, my name is Mike Asherbranner, professionally known as the Redneck Connector and proud and humble leader of the Hounds of Business community. And you are tuning in to Mike King Biz Radio on ESPN 106.1 FM RVA. Folks in the live stream, welcome. Network with each other, have a good time, right? Get birds of a feather flock together. So network, get to know who's searching for knowledge, who's trying to make meaningful connections, and have a blast. So, real quick, today's conversation is for anyone who's tired of forcing growth and chasing deals and trying to sell in a way that just doesn't feel daggum right to you anymore. And my guest today, close personal friend of mine, he's been in the Hounds. He's helped me personally with what we're about to talk about. So it's my privilege to bring him up. He understands sales, leadership, and trust at a deep, deep level, folks. That's the new currency today. Well, the revived currency. He's helped lots of entrepreneurs for years. He's worked with teams, corporate entrepreneurs, move away from pressure-based selling towards something more meaningful and effective. Really great at clarity, confidence, and real connections. So again, let's get this party started. I can go on and on about Russ, but I'd rather bring him up and give you all that experience that I had the privilege of enjoying for a couple of years now, folks. Let's get this party started.
Looks like your business might be in a bit of a pickle. Don't you worry about a thing. You ain't alone in this. You're just a success story waiting to happen. Trust me on that. Every bump in the road is just an opportunity wearing a clever disguise. Welcome to the Hounds of Business community, where we don't just sit around twiddling our thumbs. Nope, we turn those obstacles into mighty fine stepping stones. This here's a place where high-level entrepreneurs and sharp professionals gather to grow their businesses and mindsets, kind of like how a good old gumbo needs the right ingredients to be something special. Ideas thrive here, and collaborations, well, they're as natural as sweet tea on a hot day. Success, it's a journey, and we're fixing to walk that road right beside you. Now, don't forget to follow us on LinkedIn for all the latest tips and insights. We're talking about the kind of wisdom that'll keep you ahead of the game. And while you're at it, head on over to our YouTube channel. We've got ourselves a treasure trove of videos, from expert interviews to webinars, everything you need to stay sharp in this fast-moving world of business. The Hounds of Business community? Well, we ain't just a network, we're a movement. So why not come on and be part of something bigger? Join us today and let's turn your business journey into a real Southern success story. Together, we'll achieve greatness. Just like crawfish and singing on a Friday night.
All right, folks. Well, I'm not going to ask him about crawfish and singing on a Friday night because this is the man of the people. All right, very cultured. Let's bring him on up. The one and only Mr. Russ Hedge. Hashtag Russ Hedge selfie, baby. Woo! There's my soundboard.
Hey, what a blessing to be here, Mike. I tell you, it is just a joy to have you as my friend, and we got to spend some great time together last month, I guess now. So time flies so fast, but it was amazing. So glad to be here. Thank you.
Yes, sir, it was. And we got to hang out with D. Scott Smith, yourself. We met Vanessa, the Vivacious. It was unbelievable. We made so many friends. I still can't sort through them. So, of course, I'm a biased Raging fan. But, Russ, for the folks who don't know you yet, man, for meeting you for the first time here, just give them a little background. Who are you really at this stage of your life and career, man?
Well, I am what you see is what you get. I am an inspiration specialist. I've been in sales and marketing for over 35 plus years. But you know what? All through that time, really, I was growing and building relationships and becoming really who I wanted to be. And going on in my own business when COVID happened has been really the best thing that's ever happened to me. I've been able to inspire and encourage people through inspirational speaking, through the books that I wrote. I've become an international best-selling author, through the live streaming and podcasting that I do, along with the coaching. There you go. And Mike is doing a very nice vantage job there with the book, because every day, Mike, life happens and then you choose, right? Life happens and then you choose. And that's what I'm all about, reminding people you need to build your business, your life on the rock, the foundation that will build something that's solid and will go into the future, not something that's just here and gone. And that's what you're all about. And I appreciate you.
Hey, birds of a feather flock together, my friend. And this is a business show. We're in business. We usually talk business. But what I like most about you, what inspired me and really set the blueprint for me, Russ, was that you're the same man everywhere. Everywhere. You could be in any room, anywhere, multi-million dollar deal. You could be at church, gas station, and you are the same guy. And I thought, wow, how do I do that? Right. And so you've been through a lot of things. So yes, folks, these are business principles, but Russ, if you want to, open up about your journey, you faced a lot of things, man. You faced cancer and overcome. And so you're really the embodiment of harmony when it comes to, business, life, family,
Sure.
friends, going through, these kind of health challenges, but you always maintained faith and positivity and overcome it. It's really amazing. I get a paper cut and I would unravel last year, and you, man, I'm like, holy cow, I can't imagine. So, folks, I want you to know the depth here and reach out to Russ. Go to his website. You can go to Russ Hedge, right? Like the bushes, russhedge.com. You can
There you
connect
go.
with him. He lives on LinkedIn like me, folks. You always see us reposting. Um, but yeah, take notes. Go back, go to YouTube channel, Hounds of Business, and really absorb this because this is special. So, as you just said, Russ, you spent several years in sales, leadership, and growth. And you're not just academic, you're just not school of hard knocks. You're a combination of both. And that's very rare. So, what's the moment that really shaped how you see selling today?
Yeah, well, I mean, you said it way back at the beginning because I tell everybody when people are trying to separate themselves from their work, it's really not possible because you take you to work every day. And if you are not settled, then you're going to have challenges at your work and with whatever you do, right? And so, yeah, I've gone through a lot of things. And my goal in life, really, Mike, you were so kind. You speak so highly of me. And let me tell everybody, I am a work in progress, like everybody else, trying to be the best person I could be, trying to be the best husband to my beautiful wife, the best father to my amazing children, my daughter and my son, and just trying to be a good person. When I go back to a moment when I was actually getting my ministry credentials, and I'm just so thankful to God I was able. I've been in ministry for 35 plus years too, but I was actually getting my credentials, and I was in my 50s at this point, and everybody knew me real well because I had been in what they call lay ministry, meaning that I didn't have credentials, but I was still a worship pastor and doing things. And they asked my beautiful wife, we all know Russ really good. Is there anything about Russ that we should know? And my beautiful wife just honestly said, pretty much, what you see is what you get. Russ is just a, forthcoming person. And I really try to always be that way. So I got into a situation where I've had a lot of life issues that are talked about in my book. By the way, life happens and then you choose. And life happened to me through a life-ending car accident when I was 19. Life happened to me through both my parents, one suffering from cancer, and I loved them both. They were amazing parents. My mom had Alzheimer's, and then on the tail end of that, I was diagnosed with cancer. And so it started on the bottom of my foot, traveled all the way to my brain, and I was at stage 4 about a year and a half ago. Um, these situations in my life, these circumstances really were difficult, but I worked hard not to let them define me because those circumstances did not define who I was. And that's a note for everybody. Your circumstances, no matter what they are, and we all have stuff, do not define you. They will stop any business transactions you're doing. They'll stop any personal things that are going on in your life. They're going to stop everything if you're struggling through those circumstances. So you need to learn to keep that good perspective, move beyond your circumstances. I talk about Mike, and I always say that that the circumstances plus perspective equals your experience. That's a great thing called the divine equation by Chip Ingram. I love that because when you let your perspective drive your experience, things are so much better. So those are the things that really drive how I deal with people, how I connect, build community, and how I do life and business. And that is what I think is so important to everybody. So many people skip over that, Mike, and they don't really get themselves aligned in a good foundation before they try to move on. That is a really important thing. So Thank you for asking.
Hey, well said. It's an inside job. And this is not optional anymore, folks. If you're a good heart-centered person that wants to go out there and treat people well and attract, this is it. Human capital is the capital. It doesn't expire, right? Relationship currency is invaluable because nowadays AI and people are like, I don't know what's real and what's not real. So when you show up real, there you go. And I like to buy books and get guidance and coaching from people who actually did it. And this is why I'm excited. All right, I'm not paid to say this. I'm just saying it because I like to promote goodness. So let's start here real quick, if you would, because I want to move on. Gosh, we need 30 hours with you, but I need to ask, when people hear the word sales, people like us, right? People who just they don't feel comfortable like trying to get you to, like do it. And, so people who just don't like to be pushy, they often tense up when they hear sales, right? Entrepreneurs, they're like, oh, this is the part I dread. So what do you believe sales actually is all about? How do you approach
Well, that's why I'm huge on connection and community building. And I
it?
taught my sales teams for years. Don't ever go into a room meeting people, try to push any product or service. Go into a room and meet people, connect with them, and really build relationships and then build community and keep connecting because that's what it's all about. We talk about the know, like, and trust. It's all about that process of getting to know, like, and trust people and them getting to know, like, and trust you, Mike, that then the magic happens. Then the sales and things automatically happen from that. That is the true meaning of a sales relationship, and it doesn't have to do with cramming things down people and pitch slapping people like you say all the time. None of that. None of that.
And spot on. We had Jesse Dobeck, right? And this guy, I mean, millions upon millions in his amazing business, revenue generated. And what did the man come in and say? He said, hey, we couldn't have done that if we didn't invest in people, treat them well, and lead with heart. Because there's a lot of noise out there saying you have to be transactional, you have to be dominate, you have to manipulate, all this kind of stuff. And you don't. Listen, I ain't knocking you. If that's your cup of tea, go drink it. What I'm saying is that folks like us go, well, if I have to build a business and make an impact and I got to betray myself, I don't want to do it. And this is the
Right.
calling card. You don't. That's why I have guests like you on to show people you could be yourself. You got to work at it. You have to learn the principles. That's why you write books so people can learn. They can say, okay, this is the roadmap. But it's who you are that makes the difference. Whether I got a million books sitting here, I'm reading yours. Enough said, right? So yeah, I mean it. That's not. So here's what I want to ask you. Where do you see most sales teams and entrepreneurs? Because you're well versed. You can help department heads of companies and big companies. You can work with division teams, and you can also work with entrepreneurs at all levels. So, what do you think in general most sales teams are getting wrong right now in this climate and 2026?
Well, I think most teams, what they're getting wrong is they're leading with their product or service and moving beyond the people. I get it all the time, Mike. You get online, either emails or messages, people that say, "Hey, let's connect," but what they really want to do is just sell you, and they send you a 5-page, pitch slap, and they're just giving it to you. And I'm like, I'm not interested in that because I have no idea who you are. You have no idea who I am, so you don't even know if I need what you're trying to sell. And so
Yeah,
that part frustrates me right off the bat, and I move past them to begin with. So those things I think is where a lot of teams are getting it wrong. Although I think there's a good movement, a growing movement, Mike, where people are starting to look at the advantages. Now, I do have this question asked all the time because my one show, Marketing with Russ, aka hashtag Russ Selfie, my live stream that I've had for the last going on 6 years. It's all about how amazing people connect. And people say to me, well, what does connection have to do and community building have to do with marketing? And I say pretty much everything because it all starts with people. Without people, you have nothing. I actually had somebody direct message me at Podfest and say to me, oh, she goes, I don't even understand how you can connection and community building with marketing. And I explained to her, and she said to me, oh, you're one of those heart people, aren't you? She said. And then I'm thinking, well, I hope I'm a heart person. But she said, I just don't agree with that. But then she talked in a circle And when she came back to the end, she said, it really is true. We have to have people. So I guess we agree on that. And I'm like, thus connection and community building.
Amen. And again, you said it all. I'm not going to mess it up with my countryisms, but it, that's what I mean. Because people, I've seen this like clockwork. You go out there and you send out a meaningful, heartfelt DM, let's say on like platforms like LinkedIn, and it gets ignored. Why? Not because of you, because of the other 50 goofy, self-serving, meaningless. I mean, everybody's trying to sell vegan steak dinners. Well, that sucks for everyone. It wouldn't it be nice if you attracted steak eaters and then had steak eaters watch your show, and then the vegans will send their steak eater friends and families. That's called relationship. That's called best interest. And it is extremely profitable. And it's the answer to folks going, why does these traditional marketing strategies don't work for me? Well, because it's you're trying to get a dog to meow to be successful. Try that. Okay. So real quick, before we dive in, because I want to make sure folks get to know what you do, because your website, folks, go to russhedge.com. He's got blogs and all kind of good stuff. Dive into it, test drive it, right? And then contact him. That's how we do it here. If you don't see value in his free stuff, then why would you bother? So got to give a shout out. Mike King Biz Radio. Talk about community building and uplifting his community. Well, I'm glad to see you expand, brother, and so are we, because we're leading the charge. That's it. Together in collaboration. So Mike King, thank you for all you do. You'll see him on the Jumbotron in Virginia, man. They put him up there because they love this guy. And so that's what we're all about. Thank you for all you do. And the Hounds of Business, folks, shameless plug. Don't do it alone. Don't do it alone. You need the right room with the right people. That's what you need, right? Be yourself, become your best self, and get out. If you're looking for that ecosystem, if you're looking for that room, test drive us. Hit me up on LinkedIn, Mike Asherbranner, Redneck One. All right. You can go to YouTube, find our content there, see if it benefits you first. Go to Hounds of Business on YouTube, or Old School Carrier Pigeon, weather pending, right? So if you're just tuning in, everybody go to russhedge.com. I am here with the one and only, a good friend and mentor, I consider him, in getting things done, making money, making a lot of money, but doing it in a way that's conducive through people, relationships, community, and best interest. Yes, it can be done. That's what this show has promoted for like 8 episodes in a row. So Russ, let's go to it, my friend. And what I love, and I want to cap this section off because you already answered the questions I want to answer. People are feeling burned out. They're feeling ghosted. They're feeling stuck in forced deals, right? They may feel sleazy at the end of the process to close. And then you already eliminated that. You already said you don't have to do that. You should be the same person that they signed up for in the beginning, right? Imagine that. And you also talked about, ego and pressure and outdated tactics, man. That doesn't mean it's wrong. Doesn't mean that there's 8 billion people in the world. If someone doesn't like it, like that lady, and you disagree, you just move on, right? You don't worry about it. But here's the question I want you to answer. What's the cost, emotionally and financially, of chasing leads and people instead of attracting them?
Wow. I mean, I think there's a huge cost of anxiety and emotional cost of trying to do the things that really end up causing more challenges, because building relationships and connecting with people, when you do that, you create this environment where people want to work together, where they enjoy each other, where they're not just trying to sell each other. You shouldn't go into relationships just trying to sell somebody. That is the number one problem. But if you're in that, what you just talked about, chasing after sales and all the things you're doing, what you're doing is you're pushing stuff on people they may or may not like or want. And you're creating a bunch of anxiety for you because you're feeling the pressure of having to perform to a certain level. When, Mike, you and I are on the same page with this, when instead you go out, you build community, you connect with people. Old-fashioned people like to work with people that they know, like, and trust, that they love to work with. And it just creates an environment where people want to help each other. They want to work together. I love every time I'm going to work with somebody, Mike, I'm looking for people that I already know, like, and trust, people that I know I have confidence in that I can go to. Even if I don't work with them, they can actually connect me with somebody who can help me. And that's what it's all about.
Woo! And folks, go to russhedge.com. He's got live streams, all kind of things. You know, I've seen Russ. People show up, make meaningful engagement on his live streams, and guess what? I see him on the show. Like, you know, I'm not promising it, but it is a high likelihood. And just hearing you describe that exhausted me. I have been out of that game, and I was in that game for too many years, and it's awful. It's like a fish out of water. It stinks, man. And that's you're putting the fish back in the water. You're like, hey, here's a blueprint and a way that you can do this. You can realize that goal and dream. You can go out there and make money and freedom and go help people. That's what this is about. I mean, you're helping people now, but you can help them more when you have the freedom and money to do more. And that's what the Hounds and you and Russ Hedge, Selfie, and everything is all about, my friend. And so let me ask you, because I want to get through this and we're running out of time. Here's the main question I want to ask you. So how do you help someone sell without feeling like they're performing or pretending?
Right. Well, again, when I had my sales teams, the first thing I would do, I do a whole workshop on how to turn cold calling into making friends. So how to turn cold calling into making friends, which is one of the biggest fears of salespeople. And you have to go into that pretending and pushing and doing all the things that you shouldn't do. That's what people teach. They teach all of these tactics, how to overcome objections. Well, why do you even throw yourself into a thing where you have to overcome objections right off the bat? You're creating friction right from the get-go, and you're creating anxiety in yourself from the get-go. So what I would always teach my salespeople to do is to just go have fun, walk in the door, have a nice conversation, get to know them, get to know about them, so you know what they need, the things that they're doing, what their business is all about. Get involved with community events where you come together and you get to know people, because people then are in that kind of environment where they want to get to know each other. The really good example is I'm always say, go where the people you want to connect with are. So I would join boards of different organizations. So I was on the board of this Chamber of Commerce, and the person that was always sitting next to me was the CEO of the largest hospital chain in the area, and not the kind of person that you just walk in and see off the street, right? I mean, he's got 4 layers to get to him. But he would sit next to me. We talk. I learned about his family, talk about my family. We have coffee. And so I just go by his office at one of the big hospitals, and I'd say, hey, is my friend there? And I'll leave his name out for now. But all of a sudden, the person would look at me like, yeah, who are you? Think you're coming by? And I'd say, no big deal. Just tell him that Russ is here. It's fine. And so they would go back and they'd come back to me with kind of this little funny look, and they go, he said, hang on just 1 second, and you can head on back. And I would be there for a minute or two. They'd say, yeah, come on back. And he would just bring me back to his office. We would chat. You just don't make connections like that. You don't build relationships with people of that stature without truly getting to know them and not trying to push them and feel sleazy and feel anxious while you're doing it.
There you go, folks. And again, this is why not Russ. Russ is a bug zapper, not a dog catcher. But I want to make sure folks don't miss out on this. This is why the book. You got resources, like you got more IP than God, man. I mean, it's crazy. So there's tons of stuff. Go to russhedge.com. Don't even worry about it. Just go and explore and see and share this. So real quick, we only got about 5 minutes, so I want to get quick. We only got 2 questions. On that note, so when somebody says, yes, okay, there is another way. This way might suit me to hit my goals, to sell without selling. And what changes when someone stops tying their worth to outcomes? Because you're not talking about outcomes. I have to do A in order to get B. And if I don't get B, I stink. You're saying cultivate the land like a farmer, right? Cultivate, do your thing, and good things will happen. And you're proof of that. So am I. So what happens and changes when someone stops tying their worth to the outcomes, Russ?
Well, great things start to happen, because what happens is you go through that know, like, and trust factor. And some people build much quicker than others. Some people you click with immediately, and they immediately know what you are. And there's a great story from Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People. One of them should be a required reading for everybody. But This story, and I'll tell it really quick, is what everybody should think about. Man walks in to a big client that he really wants to get. But when he goes in there, this client's having trouble with something. And this guy says to him, hey, can I help with that? And the guy said, what do you mean? He goes, I know somebody that I can connect you with that I think can solve your problem and help you with that. It wasn't a money transaction. He was trying to help somebody with a personal issue this guy was having on something. They had 2 or 3 meetings after that. He helped him every meeting to get this working. He solved the problem. After the 3rd meeting, the guy looked at him and said, you know what? Thank you so much. I appreciate you. By the way, we haven't ever talked about what you do, but I know what you do. And when you leave today, I'm instructing all of my people to change all of our business over to you.
Wow. Now, listen,
that guy never sold anybody.
You could sell jelly beans, folks. There's folks that right now, they called me up and said, hey, Mike, I just started in the jelly bean business. Okay, I'm going to help them sell jelly beans, Russ. And you just proved it, brother. So in the last 2 or 3 minutes, round robin, I've only got 2 questions. Well, 3. For someone who's listening right now and they're discouraged, they're like, okay, thank you for sharing this, but they just maybe heard this for the first time. Maybe they need a recharge, right? What would you want them to hear? What's that takeaway you want them to know?
Well, my takeaway is get out there and make friends. Get out there and get where the people are. Be intentional about getting around the kind of people you want to make friends with. So don't just willy-nilly run out there anywhere. Go to where the groups are, the people are that you want to make friends with, whether it's a chamber, whether it's a networking group, whether it's a board, whether it's a community organization, a nonprofit, whatever it is. Go there, build a community, and that will make all the difference.
But wait a minute. Wait, real quick. But you mean I don't have to have a preconceived plan and a sales pitch and a strategy ready? You just mean go in there blind and just listen and show interest and be a good person? Or is that how I start?
Go in there and be friendly, because if you want to make friends, be friendly. And that comes back to you, another Dale Carnegie quote. You just need to go out there and have a good time, because when you're having a good time, other people will have a good time and amazing things will happen.
So after you have a good time, you're in the right room with the right people, then you can follow up later and have that second discussion, that second date, to use my marketing analogies. Okay.
Absolutely.
There you go. Last question before we say, hey, where do folks connect with you and where you want to start? What's one key action these folks that we're talking about can take this week to sell with more clarity and less stress, Russ? After they meet friends.
Well, the key action is to do exactly what you said. Continue to build community. Do it over and over and over. Continue to follow up with the people that you've met and continue to grow with them in relationship. That's what you need to do. You need to constantly be out there talking to people. Don't just one and done. Hey, Mike, great to meet you. Glad that we connected with each other. Not really, but we did, and I'm gone. No, you come back. Mike, you and I have met over and over and over. We built a relationship, right? And amazing things happen out of that. We've collaborated and done so much. Nice. That is what you do. You continue to do that. So do not stop. That know, like, and trust is a wheel, everybody. It is not a ladder. You don't stop when you get to the top. You keep going. Know, like, and trust. Know, like, and trust. Over and over and over. You're continuing to build people on all 3 levels. Follow up. Keep going every day.
Well, Russ, because of our experience, there's few people that I know, like, and trust more than you, brother. So tell the folks out there, man, hey, where do they start? Where can folks learn more about your work and stay connected?
Well, I'm a simple-minded guy, Mike. RussHedge.com. You know my name, put a .com on there. That's where you go. All my information is there. You can connect with me on social media, my email, my phone number. You can even schedule time directly on my calendar to Zoom with me. I'd love to do that. All of the information about my inspirational speaking, about my live streaming, producing, and podcasting, about my international best-selling work, my books are there, and about my marketing coaching. Everything you need to know about me is there. Please reach out, connect at RussEdge.com. My number one favorite social media is LinkedIn. So if you want to go there, I'm easy to find under Russ Edge too.
If you're looking for real and affordable and accessible, there you go, folks. Merry Christmas. So thank you, Russ, for being a great friend, mentor, amazing hound, and all the things you did to bless me. Now we're paying it forward. So we'll have you back on soon, my friend.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Mike.
My pleasure, folks. Stay tuned. All right. Week after week, we're going to bring it. All right. Love you guys. Appreciate you. More to come. The Hounds is leveling up. If you're curious, I got a group call for that. Fireside chat. We're going to explain it, not sell it, and make up your own mind. Y'all have a great week and go out there and bless others. All right. See you soon.